Hi guys, thank you for joining me. This week I'm going to share with you an absolutely amazing carrot cake recipe. You wouldn't believe how easy it is. This recipe was given to me by my mother-in-law and it is a family favorite. Now let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is prepare the wet ingredients. We're going to do this by cracking 4 eggs into a bowl. To the eggs, we're going to add oil and sugar and we're going to give it a good mix and make sure everything is nice and incorporated and those yolks are broken up. Now let me tell you, this recipe typically calls for canola oil, but I used half olive oil and it was just as great and it tastes pretty good. Now I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to move on to mixing the dry ingredients. In a bowl, I'm going to mix flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt, and cinnamon together. I'm going to give it a good stir and then I'm going to add that egg, oil, and sugar mixture to the dry ingredients. Now I'm going to mix it together using a spatula. Now that everything is mixed together, we're going to add finely grated carrots and canned crushed pineapple. I grated the carrots on the smallest side on the box grater, and as for the canned pineapple, this needs to be drained really well. We do not want any excess moisture or juice in the cake. Oops, I almost forgot about the vanilla. Give it a good mix and then it's ready for the oven. And this is going to go into an oven that has been preheated at 350 degrees. Prepare a 13 by 9 baking pan by spraying it with canola oil and sprinkling it with flour. This is going to ensure that the cake does not stick to the pan. And I'm tilting the pan to ensure that the flour covers all of the bottom and some of the side so that we don't have any accidents when it's time to take the cake out. Pour the cake into the prepared baking pan and then it's ready for the oven. I first had this cake many years ago and ever since I would always request for my mother-in-law to bring it over at any holiday functions, just any reason, just bring the cake. And finally she gave me the recipe and now I'm able to make it on my own. Now that the cake is in the oven, it's time to get started on the cream cheese frosting. Now I'm going to whip 1 package of cream cheese and half a stick of butter. And both of these are at room temperature. That's very important. In order for it to mix well and to become fluffy, it has to be at room temperature. Now I'm going to add powdered sugar and vanilla extract to the butter and cream cheese mixture. Be sure to start the mixer on low so powdered sugar doesn't go flying everywhere. Then I'm going to turn it up to high and beat it for about 5 minutes because I want it to get light and fluffy and airy. Now that the cake is out of the oven, we're going to allow this to cool completely before spreading the cream cheese frosting on top. And you guys, this is it. I told you it's a very simple recipe and it is going to disappear, I can promise you. And this is good with or without the cream cheese frosting. The cake itself is very moist, has a ton of flavor. And I'm just finishing it off by sprinkling chopped walnuts on top, but you can absolutely leave it off if you're not a fan of walnuts. And look at that, it comes out of the pan with ease because we prepared the pan before pouring the cake into the pan. And look at all the flecks of pineapple and carrots. This is quite a treat. Now comes the best part, which is time to eat. Thank you guys for joining me. The link to this recipe will be in the description box below. If you've liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.